Hello guys, welcome to the Final Circle podcast, and this is episode 8. Actually, we have come a long way, haven't we, now, chat? Unfortunately, there's not going to be a TikTok stream today because MTN Nigeria has decided that they don't want me to be a streamer anymore. So I think for the next 1 month, I'm not going to be streaming. Unfortunately, I don't know at this point. But anyways, guys, yeah, it is what it is. But well, we are live at the Final Circle podcast, and our co-hosts are currently, one of them went to pick up his pregnant wife from I don't know where she went, and the other one, his girlfriend left him, so he can't be here. So Senes and Seb are currently not here. So it's just me and you guys for the rest of the day. But again, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Hope you had a lovely day. Today's Sunday, by the way. So I hope you guys have had a lovely weekend and you guys are prepared for the new week. Hello, Killer. Hello, Con. You've been ranting on the chat even more than I have ranting, bro. But what's up, guys? Welcome to the YT stream. Welcome to the Final Circle podcast. And of course, our first order of things today is going to be the table, the rankings. I think a lot of you haven't followed the ESG event, and we've all been seeing what's happening right now. And there's a lot of pointers to get made out, but particularly we know our number one team currently in Africa, being the one and only Paradox Esports. They are still number one right now, and they are locking that down. They have somehow managed to not drop a single map, and that is the most concerning bit of the whole thing. Does that mean like everybody else in Africa is like just very far behind in terms of skill level? I think that's it. But the stats tell you that exact story, and it's not looking good. Cyclone Gaming also somehow have been able to retain that second spot, but mind you, they've been really shaky ever since those transfer news came in. But we're going to talk about that in a different segment entirely. But I mean, they're still number 2, so there's still a lot to play for that. Somehow, Trinity, who started there, mind you, Trinity's first match, they did not even show up. Yeah. And now we're matching 5 where they've actually played 3 match weeks and did not show up for 1, which is 4 matches out of 4. And somehow they are currently at number 3. I don't know, is that like something like a kind of secret source? Like, don't show up for your match week 1. That's a ritual being handed out, and then win the next, like perform well the next 3 match days, be top 3 in the league somehow. I don't know how that makes any sense, but if you're a Trinity fan, I'm very sure you're impressed and you're really happy to see where your team currently is at. And then going further down that list now to the halfway point, we have Sierra 7, who are currently on the number 4 spot. I mean, I think a lot of you Nigerians owe them an apology. We all do. Like, we all agree to that, B, because like it's been all about the NGs behind, NGs this, NGs that, but somehow Sierra 7 are above Mashhada Gaming. They're above NATO, and of course above their 2 Nigerian brothers. No surprise there. But I mean, currently number 4, that's quite something for them. So Nigeria is still somewhere among the top dogs, no doubt. And Sierra 7 are making sure we don't go anywhere below that. So like on the scale of 1 to 14, how bad is the lag? It's like 99, bro, out of 14. 99 over 14, bro. It's that bad. But yeah, for our number 5 team, before I say our number 5th team, it's our 50 anyway, though. Of course, it's Mashhada Gaming, who are currently at the number 5 spot. The formerly Ace Gamers rebranded to Mashhada. A couple players retired. Gem, of course, the one standout player from Stage 4 World Champs 2025, no longer in that roster. But I mean, they've been able to show that they have what it takes to go all the way against the big dogs. But somehow number 5, I don't know how they fell down to number 5. But I mean, because they've had really good matchups. And they've had like really good performances throughout the league so far. So I'm just wondering how they're currently at number 5. Makes no sense to me though. But again, now we have NATO Gaming. NATO have had one of the most, I would say, disappointing seasons so far in the APS. But they're number 6 above Eclipse and Donegal. I don't get how, like, at times the math is not math in my opinion, because like, how is NATO above 2 Nigerian teams who like you expected a lot more from, and NATO, who've been considerably losing a lot of games, are still above them. It makes no sense, bro. Yeah, our 7 and 8, I don't think I want to talk about them individually because I'm going to put them in the bed for the same feathers, yeah. But none of them are considerably worse because only 1 point racked up so far in the league. And it's NATO Eclipse are like 4 and 4, Sierra 7 and 5, Mashhada is 5. The rankings are very close. So you know what, Eclipse, I take that back. They are not on the same rankings, bro. Eclipse and Nonagon are not on the same ranking. I'm gonna have to go take that back. They are far above them. But I mean, still though, if you're Eclipse Gaming, right now things are not looking good. The fixtures going forward from this point are only going to get tougher if you're Eclipse. And so I don't know what they can actually make of that. They've lost to S7 already. If I'm not mistaken, the next games are going to be against Trinity, and maybe I think NATO. I'm not sure, but well, they might be able to get a couple points out of that, and hopefully they do, because we can't have two Nigerian teams get relegated on the very first African Pro Series. Imagine the first ever APS, the first two ever relegated teams are Nigerian teams. Like, it makes no sense, but yeah, I think that's how we're currently headed into. Hopefully not though. And for our next segment, this is the table currently and the rankings for you guys to go and know what's been happening so far on the African Pro Series under the African Championship Circuit, brought to you by ASG Call of Duty Mobile. But now we go to our next segment. Production, can you please tell me in my ear, like, please, bro? I've been saying next segment for like the first 10 hours, bro. Okay, guys, our next segment is the current fantasy standings. I'm very sure a lot of you have been playing the fantasy predictions. I think I know I have. I somehow I wasn't really able to get my team in last week, even though I opened the team. I was going to edit it, and I was like, let me go to the Road-Type website and like get proper stats to know what I'm buying and what I'm selling. And then only for me to now go to Road-Type website and I got distracted. I was doing other things, and boom, that was it, bro. I forgot to fix my team, and I don't know where my team is at right now. But I somehow still got 100 and something points. Maybe a year, I guess. But yeah, guys, if you've been playing the fantasy so far, I want to know how your teams have been, because I'm currently not I'm not even top 50 in the league right now. I'm supposed to be an analyst, by the way, guys. That's crazy, bro. I'm nowhere near top 50 in the fantasy predictions. That is so not cool. But I want to know, you guys tell me how your season have been going so far. If you're on the YT or the Twitch stream, guys, please share out the stream so we can get people to join. Unfortunately, we can't do TikTok for now till we find a way to resolve the network issues in NG in my house. But yeah, for now, we can't be streaming on TikTok. Even the ARG event is also not going to be streamed on TikTok anymore, guys. It's only going to be on the YT, unfortunately, man. Wait, you're number one? For real? So you are number one? Like, legit, you're number one? Wow. What are the odds, guys? We have the number one fantasy player on the podcast. That is crazy. You know what? Maybe after match week 6, yeah, I'm going to try and we are going to try and invite the number one fantasy predictor at match week 6 for the podcast. Send us hello. Unfortunately, there's no TikTok stream. If you can restrict to your TikTok, that's fine. But like, there's a lot. My network is just trash. I can't stream it over the next 1 month. Turns out speed-based plans in NG are useless. Like, I never knew that. I bought a 50 MB speed-based plan from MTN, 50 MB upload, 50 MB download. That was the advertisement. And then only for me to now buy it. And then I'm seeing 50 MB download, quite sure. I'm seeing 0.33 MB upload. Like, I've complained, I've made calls to customer care, I've gone to X to complain, nothing, man. It's just the same thing. So I have given up. That's it. I've actually given up. I'm just gonna like stay. I'm gonna like just manage my life for now. But yeah, this is a fun. Which team is this, Jared? Is this your team? This can't be Jared's team. This is Jared's team, bro. Jared had 90 points last week. Wait, how many points? Wait, 97? How many? Wait, no, this is 97 credits. He had one. How many points did you have last week? I can't. What am I? You have 270 points entirely, but I can't see like the. I'm gonna go do backflips on the start. All right, killer. I don't know what that even means, but like, go have fun. But again, guys, we want to see the top 3 fantasy pointers so far. I want to go and talk about them. And they can see number 1 being Fang. That is absolutely wild. So Toya, you are actually Fang. And then we have Blade FC and we have my fantasy team as your top 3 fantasy. I don't know how my fantasy team made it there, because that's low-key me, guys. It's obvious. My fantasy team, you know what I'm saying. Again, these are our top 3, and they've been able to rack above a 400 point. Like almost everybody has above 400 points in that top 20 already, and it's crazy that I have I think about 300 points, maybe somewhere close around that. I don't know how I'm that behind. But that's a lot of points that haven't racked up by our top fantasy. Mind you, there is a prize pool for that. There's $100 prize pool that's going to get given out. I think among the top 3 at the end of the season if you're playing the fantasy predictions for the APS. So I mean, Fang, right now you are looking really good. Do not back down. Don't slow it down because you have a chance to win $100. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw the CODM Africa Hub were giving the highest weekly winner an amount of CP. If I'm not mistaken. I think that has been going on. Yeah, that has been going on. I saw that. I saw Hello drop an announcement this week. I think about the highest fantasy points to join the Studio Africa Hub and go and request for the rewards there. But again, big shout out to all the sponsors that are currently looking at the APS work. You guys are amazing. And this is it for the fantasy segment. You guys, again, if you haven't played your fantasy, guys, go and play. Match day is today. Hey, I've not played my own gang. Say it close by 4 p.m. But I still have time. We'll end the podcast a lot earlier today, bro. I am not missing out on my nah. We're ending podcast by 3:30 gang. IS 3:30. But yeah, I have to go and find a way to make sure that I have my own team fixed before the match day starts. The matches are going to start at 6 p.m. West African time, and of course, it's going to be live on the ASGYT. It is not going to be live on ASG TikTok and the Cow TikTok, unfortunately, but it is going to be live on the ASGYT. And of course, a lot of watch parties are also going to be going on. We have Die Hard, we have Tony, if I'm not mistaken, as well. We have a lot of watch parties that are going to be happening. So wherever you want to watch it, you can go and watch it there. And let's move on to our next segment. We are not through with the fantasy segment. And of course, our next segment somehow, against all odds, brings us back to our table. And it's going to be about the battle at the top, which I think in the brief I sent to the team today or yesterday on the podcast is, it is non-existent, in my opinion. I don't see anything, on this table right now that contest against any team, rather, that can actually contest against PDX title winning chances. Right now, it doesn't look likely, man. They've been flawless. That's the word. Haven't dropped a single map in the playoffs so far, in the league so far. Nobody has been able to get any map of them. Do you know how brutal that is? They faced Cyclone already. They faced a lot of have they faced Cyclone? I think they have, right, Jared? Have they faced Cyclone? I don't think they have. I'm not entirely certain they have, but I mean, with the way Cyclone team currently looks, I don't even think maybe when the league started, Cyclone were like maybe a little bit of a threat to PDX, but after all the transfers back and forth, rather, I don't think there's any chance whatsoever. For if they haven't played, I don't think Cyclone can do anything to them when they do play. I doubt it. And there's no other team in the league, not Trinity, not CR7. Nobody looks like they can take that number one spot. So literally every other person right now is fighting for that number 2, number 3, number 4 spots. Even 5 and 6 is also up for grabs because, my God, nobody wants to finish 7 and 8. Nobody wants to finish 7 and 8 because we also have to talk about the battle at the bottom, which, well, it is very existent, bro. The battle at the top, I said, is non-existent. The battle at the bottom is very existent because if you're not going right now, I think you've lost all hope. You have 3 more match days today and 2 more after that, and then you have only 1 point. And from these 3 match days, you can get approximately 9 points to give you 10 points. And it doesn't look like I mean, I might not be a prophet, but I don't think they're getting 9 points in the next 3 match days, guys. I don't think so. I don't think none are going to all get those 9 points. So it's going to be really tough for them, especially with the kind of fixtures they're going to be having. If we could maybe look at the fixtures for this week, so we can see what Nonagon are played and what they're up against, because I really don't think Nonagon have what it takes to even finish anywhere beyond 7 or 8. I don't think so. It's going to be really hard. And of course, let's go look at fixtures together here, guys. Day 5, match day 5. Hunt Nonagon appear to be facing Nato Gaming. This is where I would love to have had several senders give me a little input on what they think about how this match is going to end. Well, they're not here, and I'm just going to be I'm going to be giving you guys the bad takes for today, and I don't see Nonagon winning that match. Before the league started, I would have said Nonagon could maybe win Nato or at least put up a very close game. But from what I've seen so far from Nonagon, I don't think they can take Nato, man. And mind you, Nato had not even all that this season, bro. I don't think they can take Nato. I think this is a Nonagon. This is a Nato win again, and it's really bad. Toyo says we have Nato, MSH, Cyclone. Okay, so we're saying the only chance they have is against Nato. They can at least take 3 points. That is what Toyo says. They can at least take 3 points by those fixtures. From what I just saw those fixtures, they can at least win NATO. Cyclone, that is not up for grabs. MSH, maybe get one map, maybe get a map off of MSH, but for NATO, that is the only game where possibly they can get that 2-0 win, and they have to be flawless. That's the only way, because my God, I don't see them, beating Cyclone. I don't see them getting a map off of Cyclone. I don't see them beating MSH. I see them maybe getting a map if they work hard enough. But for NATO, that's where maybe if they work hard, if I don't know, if they fight hard enough, they might be able to possibly get that one map off of them. And that's 1 point. One map is 1 point. So every point counts, especially if you don't want to get relegated right now for Nonagon. And going to Eclipse gaming against Cyclone as well, currently 4 points, and they're looking to get a little bit, they are equal on points with the team of NATO Gaming, 4-4. So both teams are quite on the same level right now. If you're NATO, you're looking to get 3 points still against Nonagon and get you above CR7. All, mind you, if NATO win their match today, they go all the way to number 4. If Trinity win, Trinity goes to number 4. NATO comes down to number 5. But it's literally the points are so close from number 4 down to number 7. Rather, the points are so close. It's only for PDX and then for Nonagon. So the first and the last are literally staying at the first and the last, no matter what happens at this point in time. Like there's nothing changing for this matrix except NATO pull off a major upset. And even if they do pull off an upset, they're still going to stay in that number 7, 8 spot, because these guys also have matchups today as well, and they all have 4 points. If you're Nonagon, if you win 3-0 today, you're also going to get those 4 points. So ultimately, it's not looking like there's a lot they can actually do, but hopefully they can actually shut down NATO and get maybe the 2-0, get the 3 points, or 2-1, get 2 points, but they have to work extra hard. And again, of course, the other teams right now, man, I mean, if you're CR7 as well, you have a really tough matchup. You're facing Trinity, who are currently the number 3 team in the league. You're number 4, you're just slightly beneath them. And if I'm not mistaken, you are 3 points beneath them. I can look at that table once again. I think they're 3 points beneath Trinity. CR7 are 3 points. CR7 have 5. Yes, they are 3 points beneath them. So no matter what happens, Trinity are still going to be number 3 after the end of this match day, even if CR7 take that win. Except maybe it's like a map count difference, but most likely they're still going to finish third or 4th. If you're CR7, though, you can't be making any risky moves whatsoever. PDX appear to be facing, if I'm not mistaken, much harder. PDX appear to be facing MSH, if I'm not mistaken. When you look at fixtures as well, I think PDX are facing much harder. Let's go look at match day 5, and it does appear indeed PDX are facing much harder gaming. So, I mean, again, 3 free points for PDX. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to be a PDX fanboy, but I've been forced to do that, man. It's nobody's looking like they can actually get any maps off of these guys. So it's more like we have to get used to it and just accept the fact that right now PDX are just miles ahead of everybody else. And if you're much harder, though, you just have to find a way to get a map of them. Even if you got to win the whole series, yeah. The one important thing you want to keep talking about is how can we get one map off of these guys and hopefully give us that that little edge we need towards the remainder of the matches. But if you're PDX, though, you're comfortable at the top, you are currently comfortable at that top, and it doesn't look like you're going to drop off of the top anytime soon. As a matter of fact, for the whole league, you might as well give them the trophy already. They're like Man City in 2022, or that 2 or 3. They're like the Man City back then. We just had the lead by 16 points, and you just know nobody's going to contest that whatsoever. And right now, if you're PDX, that's exactly what you're looking like. And of course, you also have the matchup of Eclipse and Cyclone. That's a game where, again, I don't see Eclipse gaming do anything against Cyclone. This is like number 7 against number 2. Like they're both second to last, second to first. It's like the battle of the seconds, bro. And right now, if you're Cyclone, you need those points. If you're Eclipse, you even need those points a lot more to avoid relegation. From what I've seen so far, I just don't see Eclipse gaming being able to I don't see Eclipse being able to get any of those points off of Cyclone, so maybe get a map. The real current thing we've been talking about so far is get a map. For Nonagon, they have to get a map. For MSH, they have to get a map. Same thing for like the other 2 matchups. It's literally just get a map, because like every single matchup today looks a little bit too one-sided, except maybe the CR7 Trinity game. That might be a blockbuster that we don't really expect, but I'm hoping it is, because right now, things are not looking good for all of the teams right now. But again, look at the table once more. This is your table going into match day 5. And mind you, match day 5 is going to be starting off very soon. around 6 p.m. West African time. So if you're, wherever you are, if you're at work, if you're at church right now, start marking your calendars, mark your clock, set an alarm as the stream is going to be live by 6 p.m. West African time. You're going to have two amazing casters come on today. I don't know who they are, but I hear one is from China, one is from India. I have no idea. I might be lying, guys, bro. You guys get ready for today's stream. It's going to be mega, and it's going to be live on the ASGYT. Okay. Kevin says, can you fix TikTok? I do. I have, man, it's my network. I can't stream, man. Right now, Jared is one handling the streams on Twitch and YouTube. So I can't stream on TikTok, unfortunately. I can't stream. So if I can't. There's no hope. And Jared can't stream to my TikTok because he doesn't have access, yeah? And like there's no fix around it either for now. So we're just gonna have to see what can happen before next week. But for now, we unfortunately have to stick to YT and Twitch. That's our only options. TikTok is off the charts. I can't stream TikTok anymore for now until my network gets fixed. MTN is doing the most in my era right now, so there's nothing I can do about it, guys. I'm really sorry about the inconvenience for a lot of you TikTok watchers, but there's nothing I can do about it. I've done everything I can. I've only had to like test stream over 4 times a day before we started the actual event itself, but unfortunately, just not working out. So YT and Twitch it is, guys, for now. But yeah, now let's go into the transfer saga page before we go and invite our guests. Turns out today's going to be the shortest podcast yet because we didn't have our co-host yet, so it's literally just Carl. And of course, the network issues as well have played a very major part in getting the audience down. But again, we've seen a lot of transfers come to play, and the ones I actually want to go and keep a big note on is the transfers that happened between Cyclone and was it Trinity? Yes, it was. The player switches that happened, and I mean, a lot, like, it's, I don't know how to explain what really happened, but it wasn't really funny. Like, we just saw these players. We had Cyclone against PDX. We had Cyclone top two. We had them possibly beating PDX, or possibly at least keeping things against PDX very close. We had them as the only, I think we did the tier thing earlier on. What's with that track? When we did the tier thing earlier on here, we had PDX S, and we were actually arguing maybe to put Cyclone on the S tier as well, or at least on the A tier, and nobody else goes to A tier, because that was how strong they were looking on paper when the season started. And then they went ahead to lose, I think, 3 players, or was that 2 or 3 players, to the side of Trinity. And we saw those 2 teams go head to head, and it wasn't funny, bro. It wasn't funny. Oh, thank you, production. Thank you. If you want to check out the stats, by the way, if you want to check out the stats, make sure to go to realtimepro.com, as you can clearly see all the transfers that happened there. Muji led Cyclone to Trinity Esports. I want to see all the Trinity transfer from Cyclone. Dean as well joined Trinity from Cyclone. Cyclone Gaming, they did bring in a couple of players as well for themselves, because that was a very important thing. I thought Toxic apparently still is in Cyclone, that track. From what I know, he's still in Cyclone apparently. And then Trinity dropped Katsu. Now, Katsu is an NAF player who also played on the Instinct team for qualifiers for champs. So I'm really surprised that he's been dropped. Adoma as well, very, very good player. This guy is top notch. A lot of the players that were dropped by Trinity were really shocking to me. But like, I mean, it has worked out. It has worked out so far, because they picked up, what should I say, top tier replacements that actually are cooking for them. And Trinity right now have Dean and Muji who joined in. And those guys have been a major blockbuster for their side. I think there's somebody else missing, Jared. Is there somebody else missing that left Cyclone to join Trinity? Is there somebody else missing here? I think there has to be somebody you are missing. I think there has to be somebody else that. Chad, do you guys have any? There has to be one more player that left Cyclone to Trinity that really impacted them. We have Muji here. There's somebody else. No, was it only Muji? Muji did just those 2 players. Yeah, it appears to be just Muji and Dean. I could have sworn it was 3. Or was it just 2 guys? I could have sworn. Aha! Thank you. I'm very sure Instinct played that game as well against Cyclone, and that game was not funny, man. Instinct cooked, Muji cooked. It was literally like they left home, and they made sure they sent a statement back to Cyclone that we thought without Cyclone we can do damage, and we want to do damage to Cyclone, and they did exactly that. If you're like, I mean, again, Cyclone before the league started, top tier, looked at them to be top two, maybe even number one at one point. They had number one for the first 3 weeks, I think, first 2 weeks for sure. Towards the third week, I think that's when they actually came down a little bit. PDX took over the standings there. But they started the league so freaking well. And then losing to Trinity Esports, I don't think anybody can achieve. No, in my tier rankings, I put Trinity on the B tier. I wasn't even saying take them down to the C tier below the NG teams. I was dumb. I was so dumb. But again, I mean, it's not my fault, guys. Transfers did happen. So that's also something to go and account for. Ninja also leaving NATO to join Cyclone. I haven't seen him actually feature in an actual matchup. We see Silva as a free agent going to NATO. Twix joining NATO. NATO actually have picked up quite an impressive roster of players. Yeah, picked up Sway, picked up Twix. These are the guys from Kenya. So NATO have two Kenyan players now, Sway and Twix coming in. We see Silva also joining NATO. And I mean, are they cooking something? Are we going to see them eventually put this to work? Because like we see a lot of transfer sagas happening, but none of the NG teams have been doing any transfers apart from like players dropped. That was the NE being dropped by Nonagon. I don't know why that was. I think NE has been a very important player in the past Nonagon roisters, but he's really been non-existent in the past. I think at Deca it really wasn't there for the whole Deca event. Even at the LAN, he also didn't show up. So I think maybe he's been busy with life or really hasn't been active for them. But prior to that, Eddie was one of the best players in Nonagon, and seeing him be let go was actually very sad for me because like he's one of those players. If I think about Nonagon, I think about Eddie. Also, Mandem not even being reg for the event as a whole was also shocking. I think a lot of people did not see Mandem being put out or like not being a part of Nonagon going into 2026. So like that's something a lot of us were surprised about. But again, they cooked. They made a lot of changes. I wouldn't call them. On a normal day, you'd say they've made a lot of improvements, but I wouldn't call what they did improvements because right now we see them at the number 8 spot, which is legit the dead last spot of the EPS. So improvements, I don't think so. They just did a lot of transfers. That's what happened there. And yeah, that's it. Transfer sagas happen. If you're Cyclone right now, do you still have what it takes to finish top 2? Maybe top 3 at this point because like they are now looking at Trinity maybe somehow surpassing them, especially with the fixtures that they might have ahead. What does Trinity have to offer? Can they take the number 2 spot from Cyclone? But if you're a PDX right now, you're looking at just closing things as number 1. Your fixture was today against MSH, looking like one of those games you might just walk through again. But MSH are also a pretty dominant team, and if anybody can take a map of PDX, it's going to be a team like MSH. So I don't think that's a fixture I want to miss. 2 blockbuster games to look out for today: the Serious Heavy game and the PDX games. Those games appear to me to be very close. And for NATO as well, NATO's game against Nonagon, it's a do or die match for Nonagon. So you'd expect them to go all out. For NATO's side, a lot of transfers made, a lot of new players to put to the test here. Currently at number 6. Can they get above number 6? We're going to find out later today, though. So that's it for our transfer saga segment. And, a lot of transfers might still happen. I don't think before week 7. I think after week 7, going into like the next season, and of course the World Champs coming into the African scene as well for 2026. There's going to be a lot more transfer news to catch up on. You can always go to realtimepro.com to find out what's happening in the scene, find out which players are getting transferred. Carl also recently joined Elevate Gaming, but the website has not been updated, so you guys can't see Carl in that segment. But anyways, very soon, Jared is going to do that. But yeah, guys, that's it. Do we have guests ready from production, guys? Okay, so it turns out we already have our guests joining. We have 2 guests for today, and we had one of them on the show before. We've had one of the guests on the show before. Hopefully, they do respond. Production says they are not responding, so hopefully they do respond soon, so we can get them on board. But we have our first guest of the day. It was a Stage 4 player, played for PDX Game in Paradox Esports last year, 2025. That was November. Was that November, guys? Where was Champs, bro? It was October game. He was in November, but yeah, he played for PDX, and they had quite a dominant run in SA qualifiers where nobody can actually touch them. They also won the land 4-0 against NATO Gaming, made it to the actual champs itself, made it to the grand finals, the actual grand finals, the stage 4 champs, and where Bear Clan humbled them. Bear Clan just looked a little better on the day there. But again, PDX, amazing team. We have Muji, the man himself, the GOAT Muji. When I said the IGL currently or IGL opportunity, it was the IGL or Cyclone, I think. I'm not really sure about that, but we have Muji on the studio with us today. Hello, Muji. Are you there?
Hi, Carl. How are you doing?
Hello, man. Welcome to the podcast today, bro. Welcome to the podcast. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing great myself, man. How are you?
Perfect. Unfortunately, we really couldn't do a TikTok stream today, so a lot of like the fans who wanted to see you are not going to be able to see you, bro. Hopefully by next week we fix that. Hopefully get a re-invite for you, man. Because a lot of the fans were asking to get Muji on board, and now we have Muji and we're not on TikTok. Sad stuff. But yeah, again, can you tell us? I want to go straight into the whole thing. We've seen a lot of like saga of transfers in the past couple of weeks and all that. You guys joining Cyclone, and then all of a sudden from nowhere we see you guys leave Cyclone. You and Dean particularly leave Cyclone to join Trinity Esports, and then we see the matchup happen as well. Trinity against Cyclone. Before we even go there, can you tell us about the transfer? What really happened behind the scenes? The switch from Cyclone to Trinity. What really happened? Can you hear me, G?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I was saying Dean. I'm gonna start off with Dean, right? Dean wasn't in Cyclone. He's actually a free agent. He just moves like wherever we go and stuff. But they signed us, right? But for me, for my situation, I actually found out that the players wanted to kick me from the team, right?
Wow.
And pick up somebody else. So that person told me and showed me like screenshots of them saying, "Look here, we're gonna kick Muji and we're gonna pick you up." So, and then we had a meeting with the management, all of us, because the management noticed like in the group chat that it didn't seem like everyone was, motivated and wanted to play together and all that stuff. So they wanted answers basically. And then we had the meeting, and then I just told them, I'm gonna leave. I want to leave the team, so you guys should terminate my contract because, I saw the players wanted to kick me from the team. So yeah, that's why I left. And then Dean just came with me, but I didn't plan to go to Trinity. It's just Jack messaged me, and Jack was like, "Look here, the players in my team at the moment, they just play full. Don't you want to come play the tournament with us, you and Dean?" And then I spoke to Dean, and then we just decided to play the tournament.
Wow. So I think this is what the podcast is here for, because honestly, I don't think a lot of people. I think a lot of people didn't know about this. I personally had no idea that was what was happening behind the scenes. That this is insane news to have literally heard about. But again, you went to Trinity Esports, and the very first match day somehow was against your former team Cyclone. And I think it's safe to go and say you taught them a lesson, a very, very serious lesson, because first of all, on paper, everybody thought Cyclone were the better team, and minus the transfers. Then we saw you guys join in, we saw the whole matchup. It was crazy. Instinct as well. You guys showed up originally on that day. What was the driving force to get that match day in your favor? It was 2-0, yes? Was it 2-0?
It was 2-0, yes, 2-0.
Yeah. Wow. What was the driving force for you guys?
Our first match was against N9, right? And I didn't expect us to lose against N9. I was like, guys, there's no way we're losing. And then the hard point, I think they won us in the hard point, if I'm not mistaken. The hard point,
N9?
yeah. N9, we lost to N9.
Okay, yes. It was 2-1.
So everyone, I don't know if they were motivated or what, like going up against Cyclone. I know I was. And we all know, like, we know our strengths, we know our weaknesses and that. But it was doable, seeing that they they didn't have Toxic in the team because Toxic doesn't want to play for them as well.
Bro.
So yeah, we were just confident. We were just confident, and we actually wanted to win them. Me and Dean specifically.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I saw the game. I wasn't casting, but I was watch partying on TikTok, and I could just see the drive, and I saw what you guys are doing. I'm like, there has to be an extra motivation somewhere. I know they just left the team, so of course it's gonna be a little bit of like that bad blood where they want to like get the revenge or something. But even though I didn't know the actual story behind the game or what really happened, but like I was shocked. Instinct actually came as soon as the game finished or ended rather. Instinct came to TikTok to ask me, "Yo, Carl, are you part of the boys, man?" I was like, "What the hell? The game just
Yeah.
finished. Go get water or something." So like, I mean, impressive stuff from you guys. And currently, you guys are number 3 on the league right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
You know, Trinity started the league very bad. They didn't even show up for the very first matchup. The next match they played was a little bit shaky, and then somehow as a metric and the end of metric 4, they are currently ranked number 3 team in the league, and they are looking even possibly to get above that by taking down Cyclones number 2. What do you think about that? Do you think there's a chance you guys are going to finish top 2 for the league this season? I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah. 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 Yeah, production. I can hear Yuji though, so I don't know what you mean by disconnected. I can hear him with the video. Anyways, Muji, I mean, I get your point there, and to me, I'm also going to be fair to you there. When the league started, we did a tier ranking thing. Lee, Seb, and the guys of the podcast. Jiggy also was there, I think. It was also Senes, and everybody put Trinity below Cyclone, not just below Cyclone, but reasonably below Cyclone. It was more like PDX on the S tier, Cyclone A tier, then Trinity either B or C tier. It was always like that. And then somehow, some way, you guys have just somehow been able to get to number 3. There's still 3 more match days today, of course, included, and then 2 more matches after today. So there's still a lot to play for. There's still a lot of points to rack up, and potentially maybe even finish number 1. I mean, there's nobody saying you guys can't finish number 1, even though PDX don't look like they're gonna let that happen. But we are just, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens for the rest of the season. Now we have 3 more match
Yeah,
days.
I think.
Yeah.
I think Cyclone's gonna have to beat them, and I doubt it because I mean, Toxic's not gonna play with him. Like he's not gonna play 100%. So I doubt they will win PDX.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm gonna say this. I don't mean any disrespect to Trinity, but if they can't beat Trinity, they can't beat PDX. That's just it. I don't see Cyclone on paper being able to get the dub against PDX right now. So yeah, if you're in PDX right now, and it looks like you've already won because the match day today again against MSH haven't really been at the best. I don't see them getting points off of PDX, so it might just be PDX getting the next 2 match days and putting things in the bag and just bagging the whole thing here. But I mean, again, you guys are facing the number 1 team in Nigeria right now. They are number 4, just slightly below you guys, but 3 points below you, by the way. So no matter what happens, you guys are still going to finish 3rd. But do you have any message for CR7? Do you think they're going to be an easy match or an easy win? What do you think about CR7?
But I don't know, man. They just disappoint me every time. Seriously. I don't know if it's the network, if it's the M10 or something, but I don't know. I don't fear them, to be honest, or ECL. Like it's not disrespect. It's just like, come on now, you guys are supposed to be dominating. Like
Yeah.
at least one of the teams have to be dominating. Like that SND, that last round, that was quite disappointing to watch because that was like watching I wouldn't probably a tier 2 team. Because like who does such stuff? You can't do such stuff in a tournament. Like it just shows like maybe I think that guy wasn't actually confident enough to think that he could win that gunfight with his teammate as well. So I think they play scared. I don't know. They're not confident. That's what I think. They're scared, and they just hope for the best.
Yeah, I think I like what you said there. No disrespect to them, but you just don't fear them. And I don't think even the NG teams fear CR7 right now. Or on any given day, it's more like anything can happen. You know, we saw that at Deca. We've seen a lot of times where S7 have gone against Underground, they've lost it as well. Even a close game, they've actually had one or two good games against them. So it's just like they're not that dominant team they once were. CR7 used to be such a dominant team in the African, in the Nigerian team where everybody fears them. They're not even dominant in NG anymore. How much more AF? So I don't really see any AF team being scared of them. And again, you guys are facing them today, so if they can pull off an upset, I hope they can. But in my paper, on my books, I'd just say Trinity are going to get another 3 points here, and look forward to like shutting down Cyclone and taking that number 2 spot. But again, Muji, thank you for coming on the podcast today, man. You've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for coming. I think I learned so much from you today and so much about what's happening behind the scenes. And of course, I think I've got like 10 clips I want to go and post after this podcast. Thank you so much, Muji. Thank you, man. Thank you for that.
No stress, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Cheers.
All right, Maski. Have a good day, man. Have a good day with that.
You too. Cheers. Bye.
All right, guys. That was Muji from Trinity Esports now. Trinity 911. I could have asked him what the 911 meant behind that name, guys, but he's gone. I would have asked him that. I really want to know why the 911 is there, but again, that was Muji from Trinity, and of course, we are supposed to be going to match analysis, but I think we're going to skip that, Jared. It's literally boring for one person to analyze the whole game. So that might not be a segment on today's podcast. We're going to go to, do we have any info on the Challengers production? What? Okay, I think we do. Wow. So, guys, the Challenger series already started. I'm sure a lot of you might have watched a couple of the streams yesterday. I personally wasn't able to watch a lot of the streams, unfortunately, but yeah, I did watch the games on Alex's TikTok stream, so I did follow every game there. I didn't really see what ASG played. I know they played yesterday. I don't know what their fixture ended as. Let me see. Axiom ASG or ASG lost to Axiom 2-1. That's what production confirmed on my headphones right now. So ASG right now are looking to bottle. I mean, is there a double elim for like the bracket, the challenges as well? Is it a double elim or is it just one? Is it single? If it's single, that means ASG are not looking at winning the first challenger series. Mind you, there's 4 of them, so they've lost 1. They still have 3 to go, and hopefully in those are the 3 they can actually qualify for the. Mind you, again, they are the host of this event. They had very good qualifiers run, not the best, but they actually had really exciting games, some good watch, and sure, we thought maybe there might be a chance for them to actually qualify from the qualifiers for the EPS, but it didn't really work out. And now we are in the challenges where they are still having problem qualifying, and this might be where they need to start reconsidering maybe, I don't know, a roster change, get new players in, or get a new coach. There's a lot. Something has happened. Something has happened. It can't continue as it currently is, because that's going to be a problem for them. They have to eventually change something there. Mighty Sports is one of the lookout teams for these guys to be doing really well from what I just saw on the screen. 2-1, 2-0, they've been winning all their games. And same thing for Axiom as well. One of those standout teams you always want to watch out for. They've also had really exciting games. I see on the other hand, I don't know what Iconics really are or have drawn or are ranked as, but I think the 3 teams I personally would want to look out for would be the ICN, the Mighty Esports, and of course the Axiom. I would say ASG, but unfortunately, ASG are out of the first ever Challenger Series. So, not a good look for that team right now. They need to do a lot more if they want to stay and possibly qualify for the African Pro Series itself. But right now, things are not looking good for them. Again, if you ask the best team in Gabon, the Bad Goats team, and where all those amazing players are, you guys are looking to be one of what you guys arguably could have qualified from the qualifiers itself for the APS, but just a couple of shots coming there, not able to make it out. Now you have another chance to qualify through the challenges, and so far so good. They are stream 1 and 3 everybody. 2-0 against X-Line, 2-1 against ASG, shutting down the sponsors as well. And they still have a couple more fixtures to go for today. I don't know when that's going to be live, but that's also going to be streamed not on the ASUIT, but I think most likely going to be streamed on one of the TikTok streams. I don't know where, but I think they're going to pass that on Discord. So if you're not on the ASG Discord, guys, you might want to go to the YT and look for the Discord link and go click on that link and be on the Discord so you can stay updated on the Challenger Series and as it goes on and wherever it's going to be streamed. But again, that is it for the African Championship Circuit Challenger Series. The African Pro Series is our major event, of course. The very first C1 event of 2026 in the Quantum African scene. And so far, so good. It's been nothing short of epic. As we now have 3 more match days to end things and just there's a lot to talk about again. But we're just hoping that Nigerian teams don't finish bottom 3, bottom 2. I don't want to see 2 Nigerian teams get relegated. That's going to be one for the history books, I'm pretty sure, and something that's going to be very depressing for a long time to come, especially if you're a Nigerian like Jared. I'm not Nigerian, so I can't relate to that. But anyways, Jared, hopefully your team doesn't get relegated on the very first APS. But again, one more look at our standings: PDX, Cyclone, Trinity, Sirius 7, Mashhada, NATO, Eclipse, and Hot Nondagon. And of course, we're going to see all these 8 teams later today on a matchup as they are going to be going head-to-head for 3 points. These are your fixtures for today. Cyclone are going to be going up against Eclipse Gaming. Cyclone are currently number 2. Eclipse are currently number 7 as they are both second to last and second to first, respectively there. So these both teams, they have a lot to play for. Sirius 7 and Trinity, the number 3 and number 4 teams on the table right now. If you're Trinity, you are currently 3 points above Sirius 7, so no matter what happens, you're still going to be number 3, but they are looking going above Cyclone by getting those 3 points against Sirius 7, and that's something hopefully they can actually go and get. And of course, Donegon and NATO Gaming. NATO on number 6, Donegon on number 8. NATO have 4 points, Donegon have 1 point. So on paper, NATO look a lot stronger, and this might just go and be a fixture, no doubt. And our final game of the evening, PDX against Mashhada, Egypt against SH Ghana, of course. That's going to be a game I'm very sure a lot of you will be looking forward to. But again, if you're PDX number 1 in the league right now, Mashhada number 5, if you're PDX, you don't want to lose any points. You haven't lost any points so far. You also haven't lost any maps so far. And this is just a possible continuance of your streak. Can they now continue that streak against MSH? Or maybe, just maybe, MSH might be the very first team to go and get a map of Paradox Esports. Again, that track says Eclipse at H9 the Go House. It is written. I still think there's a high chance that one of the NG teams might not be going home. There's a very high chance. It's probably not going to happen. But none of God for sure are going home. I'm sorry, man. As much as I want to be optimistic here, none of God don't go house. Forget it, bro. But there's a very high chance that Eclipse might be able to make it 3, because if you look at from number 4 to number 7, it's just a 1 point gap between those 4 teams. So anything can happen among those 4 teams. Literally anything can happen among those 4 teams. If you're Sirius 7, you can still drop all the way down to number 7 on this particular match day. If you're NATO Gaming, same thing. If you're Mashhada, same thing. They can all drop to number 7, not number 8, because number 8 is reserved for Nonagon and their house with that. But for all other 4 teams above them, they are just interchanging from that number 4 to number 7 spot. So I think Eclipse to have a solid chance of not going to, of not being relegated. Hopefully they do. It's going to be really hard because they have quite the fixtures coming up for themselves here. But anything is to happen. If you're NATO Gaming as well, I mean, you don't want to be among the NG guys. You want to let the NG guys go away to the relegation zone. And again, guys, that has been the table and the roundup of the ASG African Pro Series, and of course the African Championship circuits. That has been the roundup, guys. We have the fantasy as well. You guys don't forget to go and set up your teams. Please go and set up your teams, guys. Don't be like how. Go and set up your teams. Also, big shout out to us, our partners, realtimeproduction.com. Literally everything we are using to do the stream right now is literally from realtimeprod.com, down to the data itself, the stream itself, the graphics, and the website, every single thing, the stats you look at, the tables. These are all made possible to you through the real-time websites where everything is available to you. It's literally information at your fingertips. So just go to realtimepod.com, scroll through, find whatever you're looking for, the African esports scene, and you're going to be finding it there. Maybe even ask production, is there a chance that we're going to be including worldwide esports anytime soon, production? Jared says, as I drink water, I go choke, bro. But actually, I mean, that would be so cool. But anyways, guys, for sure, you guys, everything about the African team pertaining to Codem right now, you can find on the website. And of course, it's not just going to be Codem forever. We're going to be adding Mobile Legends, Free Fire, PUBG. A lot of other esports titles are going to come eventually, but it's not going to be, I don't think, anytime soon. Because, yeah, there's a lot of work going on to make sure the website is standard and meets your needs and your expectations before we can start incorporating other events and other esports titles, maybe even PC titles eventually. But of course, we're looking forward to see all these things being incorporated into the website. But again, guys, this has been the Final Circle podcast. I think this has been the shortest one yet because unfortunately, I did it solo and there was no TikTok stream to interact with. And a lot of people appear to no longer use YT. And of course, nobody uses Twitch. That is crazy, bro. So yeah, big shout out to all of you who actually came to watch the stream today on the podcast. We are going to be live again next week, Sunday. Hopefully, we're able to fix that TikTok issue before next week, Sunday. But if we're not, it is what it is. We're going to just have a walk around, at least for the whole month. By next month, unfailingly, we're going to have that TikTok fixed. No matter what happens, we're going to have the network issues fixed as well from thereafter. But again, guys, thank you for coming on the stream. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely evening. And I'll see you guys by 6 p.m. West African time for the African Pro Series Match Day 5. It's been your boy, Carl, and goodbye. Have a good one.